Thank you very much to the ADA for the invitation and being here, and for you being here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the last speaker, and it brings me to the last presentation of the day. I promise as brief as possible, and I would like to comment on these following 4 aspects. I will start with a description of the initial situation, records that are no longer needed by Hamburg authorities and other institutions and whose retention periods have ended are offered to the Hamburg State Archive. After evaluation by the responsible archivist, a so-called delivery list is drawn up by the State Archive. After agreeing on delivery date, the documents worthy of archiving are packed by the permitting agency and delivered to the State Archive. In 2021, monitoring revealed a low triple-digit number of grey silverfish and other paper, respectively leather and textile pests in both in our magazines and our office spaces. So we decided to optimize the freezing process and include other cellulose materials like copy, toilet, and sanitary paper. And it was agreed to increase the frequency of cleaning of our magazines. And the Hamburg State Archive uses a professional cold storage cell to freeze archival materials out of cellulose. Freezing becomes an active part of the integrated pest management, and the deep freezing of archival records serves to kill any insects that may be present, especially paper pests. It is an important preventive measure in the delivery process and serves to protect entire collection. The acceptance of deliveries and other archival materials is uniformly documented by means of a checklist. My colleagues have the opportunity to record the contents of the delivery or its types of archival documents, formats, and chronological dating in more detail. When accepting deliveries, they check whether conspicuous features such as active mold infestations and other damages could be detected. Meanwhile, the reusable containers are filled with papers, files, books, and moisture-absorbent material. A measurement of the object humidity is carried out. For this purpose, at least 3 measurements shall be carried out on random samples. The results are to be documented. If the moisture content of the object exceeds 12 volume%, the conservation and restoration team must be informed immediately so that further action can be accorded. In addition, the climate value in the delivery zone will be checked and documented. The cold storage reaches a minimum of minus 23 degrees Celsius. Then the boxes are placed in the cold store. Inside plastic containers, the core temperature of the objects normally falls down to the upper limit of 20 degrees Celsius for lethal use after 4 hours. This should ensure the killing effect of eggs, larvae, pupae, and adults of the grey silverfish. This treatment period is significantly shorter than that given in the current literature. It is based on the findings presented by Judith Wagner, together with Pascal Querner and Andrea Pataki-Hund, on 21 September 2021 in the lecture Comparison of 3 treatment methods for archive material against the grey silverfish, at the online conference Pest Odyssey in 2021. The basis for the lecture was a master thesis by Judith Wagner at the Technical University at Cologne in 2021, in which Wagner was able to show that it is not necessary to create a core temperature of minus 20 degrees Celsius for archival material in advance. She presented a cold treatment of archival material in simple cardboard boxes with slip-on lids, in which a temperature of below 0 degrees Celsius was reached in the box within only 3 hours and maintained for at least 12 hours. According to her, this treatment was sufficient to kill eggs, nymphs, as well as adult paperfish. However, she announced that more research would be done to further validate the results. Therefore, to be on the safe side, the cold treatment at the Hamburg State Archive is still 24 hours for the time being, with the core temperature at minus 20 degrees Celsius being maintained for 12 hours. The experimentally determined procedure for freezing archival materials guarantees that the supercooling point of minus 80 degrees Celsius is maintained for at least 12 hours. After 24 hours, the boxes get out of the freezing cell and the passive acclimatization process will start in a non-air conditioned room for another 24 hours. Again, a measurement of the object's humidity is carried out. If the moisture content of the object is under 12 volumina %, it is possible to unpack every container. It is possible to store the archival material. After changing the cleaning routine and working with new freezing process, it was possible to reduce the amount of detected gray silverfish. Even the archival material that showed a pest infestation in 2021 was treated again. And this despite the fact that we are currently even using a slightly increased number of sticky traps. Therefore, we are cautiously optimistic that the measures can lead to a manageable number of paper pests in the long term. My last point to the process optimization. We always try to fill the chamber to the maximum. This means that we make greater logistical effort to coordinate deliveries from the various authorities. And partly, we use quarantine areas separated with double-sided tape on the ground and wait until enough archival material has been collected. And we bought enough containers for 2 full freezing circles. Finally, we are trying to ensure that consumption is included in our CO2 balancing report. Here we try to document the consumption of coolant and electricity and include it in the CO2 balance of our building. So thank you for your attention. For further questions, I'm open, and if you want, try to ask something. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Any question? Right at the end, on the back, far.
Thank you. Marie Kern of the State Academy Fine Arts in Stuttgart, the paper conservation course. Just a very quick question, hoping to pick your brain for your experience. You mentioned having a quarantine area for potential contaminated archival materials with double-sided tape. I'm just curious, which brand of tape do you use?
It's an information I can give you in a private message. It's possible, but I can say it here in the public. So please just write me an email and I will tell you which kind. It was a tip from another colleague from the LVR in Germany. No problem.
Hello, I'm Konstantina from Natural History Museum. I was wondering whether you were able to identify which type of silverfish you caught in your traps. Was it Lepisma saccharina or was it the new type that is sort of resistant to different RH conditions?
I have the help of the colleague. It's a colleague and he is entomologist, and so that's the point. He has a doctor in biology and helped me to identify the trapped silverfishes.
Did he give you the exact name of the silverfish?
Yes. I know that there's sometimes different names of the fishes are used, but that's something I trust him. That's not on my point to go further into the biology. Okay. I think so. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Thank you very much.
I've got a question. Me?
Chair. It's so...
You mentioned that you process around 300 shelved meters of archive every year, but maybe you haven't seen how many people are working towards this processing, because it seems like a major work. So,
just 2 people.
So it's 2 people. Are these conservators, cataloger? Who are they?
No, they are not the conservators. They are just working in the archive. One from them, there was something like a school, but we work together. We are a team, and I think our goal is that we all talk about problems and we talk about the process, and so we are dealing to go on and to be better after knowing what is going wrong. So that's the point.
So far it's sustainable if you process 2 people processing 300 meters every year, but then if it gets a little bit bigger, then you do have a problem.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. No one?
It's hard to see someone. Yeah.
Over there? Yeah.
I see there's someone.
Hi. You said that you froze all the cellulose-containing materials in the archive, including tissue paper?
It's not a tissue paper, it's a thin cardboard. It's a 2 millimeter thick cardboard, and it's very heavy. And it's nothing for long contact for object, because it's not stable and we use it just for this process, or sometimes for drying, as a drying stacked in a stable between polyester sheets. I think you know it. It's called, in German, it's Finnpappe.
There was a photo at the beginning,
yes,
with like toilet paper,
yeah,
and absorbent papers.
For the toilet paper, it is possible to use the package of the manufacturer, and we don't open it, and we can put it into our freezer without any extra package. It's closed in a plastic foil. So it's possible to freeze it without any extra package.
But the question was, why was that frozen?
We know that paper fishes are loving toilet paper and copy paper. So we don't know where the manufacturer stored it. So we do it because we want to prevent any manifestation from these materials.
So every paper that comes in is frozen before use?
Sometimes I think so, but there are many papers which I can't froze. So we focus on the problem papers. And these are copy paper and toilet and handkerchiefs paper.
Okay, thank you.
Hallo, Anna Wippes, Universitätsbibliothek Leipzig. I have a question about, if I understood correctly, you said the office was also problematic with the insects inside. Does it mean you freeze everything in the archive, including things that are there, or?
Yes, also last week we talked about it, and we saw that many of our archivists stored archival papers for a long time in their office. And sometimes we had the problem that they are there eating and drinking just because of COVID. Everyone is only allowed to make the pause in their own office. And so in the office are drinks and cakes and cookies. And we know from the talk to other colleagues that they have paperfish in their offices. So we start to tell the people that when they want to overgo the freezer, they have to install traps, and we change the traps just 4 times a year. And it's on me to have the appointment with our colleague from the biology to say, okay, it's a dangerous pest or not. So we try to install a new system of safety for our archival material. It's hard sometimes because everyone said it's just a short time when the archival material is in my office. But in the end, it's easier for us to prevent a manifestation than to react on a manifestation in the archive.
Okay, thank you.
Petra Buchschuster, Stuttgart. I understand you have a big collection, and how did you manage it that the non-frozen parts did not recontaminate the frozen parts of the collection?
Nowadays, I have the luck that we, in most cases, I think to 95%, we only have paper-based materials. But we have a workflow, and there we say, okay, when we have something that we can't freeze, it have to stay in quarantine for 2 weeks, and we control it every day, and we have the double-sided tape around the pallet, and we have 2 traps, just glue traps, on and under the pallet. And afterwards, when we see that there's nothing, then it's allowed to take it to the magazine